When in the heat of an argument, it is very easy to forget that how we communicate and the words we use will likely have a direct impact on how the exchange will develop. If we use aggressive, sharp tones and language that seems to attack the other person's actions, we're adding fuel to the fire, and this will likely escalate the argument. A great technique to create a calmer, more measured conversation is to use the you and I statement technique. When sharing a concern with your partner or co-parent, instead of saying, "You never tell me when you're going to be late," which will often cause the other parent to become defensive, begin your sentence with I. For example, "I feel hurt when you don't tell me you'll be late." With this sentence, we show that we're taking responsibility for our own emotions, rather than blaming. As well as using different approaches to the language you use in your communications, if you find that a situation is becoming argumentative, insulting, or aggressive, it's a good idea to take a time out and reset, rather than escalate the situation. As you'll have learned from earlier in this video, trying to push through when emotions are high will rarely achieve a calm and positive resolution to a situation. With this in mind, have a plan in place so both of you can take a break when needed. Agree to spend some time doing something alone that you find relaxing. Then, when you've both calmed down, you can return to solving the problem. Always make sure that you do return to the discussion though. It isn't a good idea to leave these issues unaddressed, and you should always look to work together to find a solution or a resolution to the source of conflict. Disagreement is a normal part of a relationship. If it becomes clear that you cannot agree, focus on a resolution instead. Try to find a compromise that benefits both individuals. Ask yourself if this disagreement really matters, and let yourself move on if not. It isn't always easy to talk about how we feel. However, it is important that we try. Being able to label your feelings, what you'd like to happen, and how your partner can help meet your needs can be an easy way to move forwards. Sometimes we become stuck. We expect our partners to understand our feelings and our needs, when these are often left unsaid. At times, your partner may say, "Just tell me what to do." This is a clear sign that they're not sure of your expectations, and therefore, they need you to communicate what you're feeling and what you need. At the start of this workshop, we identified that conflict resolution and dealing with arguments can affect any relationships and family groups. But if you find yourself in a co-parenting situation following a breakup, and you are struggling to deal with continued conflict and arguments due to rising resentment, it's important that you always try to overcome any built-up resentment and focus on creating a more positive future rather than dwelling on the past. Where possible, find a way to make shared decisions about parenting. Always try to interact with each other as much as possible and make sure this is positive. Try and set aside any feelings of hurt or anger. Being a mature and responsible co-parent is to always put your children's needs ahead of your own. Consider if your children are being placed in the middle of your arguments. Remember, no matter how insignificant you may feel your actions are, they can be damaging to any children involved in a conflict situation. Communication is essential for co-parenting. Always provide the other parent with information that you expect that parent to give you. When information isn't exchanged, children could then end up in the middle of the conflict. Sharing information with a co-parent is always best practice. If you're unable to communicate, look for friends and family that could help with this. so communication can continue. And always remember, keep your focus. What is it you're looking for out of the conversation? Keep it cool. Breathe. Think about your children. Try to use I statements, labeling your feelings rather than using blaming language. Use an appropriate method: email, text message, telephone calls. Be respectful. No name calling, no nicknames, no abusive language. Don't ask the children to share messages between you both. Remember that your children love you both, and that's okay.